the professional and personal life of Uta Hagen and Herbert Berghoff.
I'm Letitia Ferrer, the daughter of Uta Hagen and stepdaughter of Herbert Berghoff.
I'm Teresa Tuscher, the granddaughter of Uta Hagen and Herbert Berghoff.
In this episode, we talk with Karen Ludwig. Karen created a DVD called Uta Hagen's Acting Class, which you can find on the utahagen.com website. She shares with us how she created this DVD and why she and her friend, the late Penny DuPont, created it. Karen also shares personal moments of spending time with my grandmother at her wonderful home in Montauk. Let's listen in. Today we have Karen Ludwig. She is an actor, director, and producer. She is also a friend, or was a friend, of my grandmother, Uta Hagen. She has been on Broadway in The Deputy, in Broadway Bound, in The Devils, and Prelude to a Kiss, just to name a few. She was also the producer and director with Penny DuPont, a very good friend, for Uta Hagen's Acting Class, which is on DVD. Karen is here today to talk to us about some personal stories, as well as studying with my grandmother, producing the DVDs. So Karen, hi.
Hi, very glad to be here. I loved Uta. She was my mentor. I studied with her on and off for about 6 years in the early 70s, late 60s. I got to see her in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf because she was actually doing the play while she was teaching. So I saw it 7 times.
Amazing.
Practically memorized it. Uta said, and it's on the DVD that we did, which I'll talk about, when I go to the theater, if I can see the acting, I already don't like it. That is, if I can see the actor and his placing things, when I see a real human being up there, I get spellbound. So her teaching was based on how to be a human being with the given circumstances of the play and using your own life, how to be a human being, not an actor. I mean, that was the basis of that, I would say. I remember when I studied with Uta, everybody was smoking, so the classroom would be filled with smoke.
Yeah.
And Uta would be smoking more than anybody, of course. And then we have a thing called the Hagenwagen, which people would go and buy food and put it in the wagon, and you would eat in class too. But she was very strict about rehearsing, that you had to rehearse a scene a lot before you brought it in for critique.
Right.
Which is something that doesn't happen these days very much. People don't rehearse as much, right?
How many times did you have to rehearse in her class before being ready for a scene?
Yeah, I would say about 10 times.
During the time that you were studying with her, is that also when the time to make the DVD came about, or how did that come about?
We used to ask her if we could bring a camera in the classroom and shoot her teaching. She would say, "No, I don't want the distraction of the camera for the actors. It won't be any good for them." And my spouse, Sarah, actually, when we were out of town in Chicago, no, we were in San Francisco, and she was doing Mrs. Klein. They had drinks together, and Sarah said to Uta at a certain perfect moment, "You know, Uta, it's going to be so sad because when you go, all these actors will not have had the opportunity to have studied with you. It'd be so wonderful if we could, you know." So Uta said, "All right, I'm going to Chicago next week. If you can raise the money, you can follow me." And we did. And we shot her teaching acting classes in Chicago, Toronto, LA, where I was living at the time, and New York.
Okay.
And so you'll see people doing scenes and doing reworks, and the 10 object exercises that she's very famous for. Her object exercises were brilliant. You'll see them. She believed that there shouldn't be, the word prop was nothing that there were objects that you used.
Okay.
Your purse, your things that you're carrying, your pen that you use, these are all your objects. They're not props, and they're meaningful and they're personal. And she was very big on that.
So it was having a relationship with those
A
objects.
relationship, right. And then she would
Okay.
say, she said, if you want to learn about acting, watch how you live your life.
Okay.
Watch how you get up in the morning, what you actually do. It's different than most mornings. You don't get up in the same way. You get
Okay.
up differently every morning. There's always a reason. Everything's very specific. But she'd say, observe how you live your life. Observe how you change your personality. And when you see a certain person on the street, and then all of a sudden you see somebody else and you change completely. Or when you
Okay.
get a phone call and you say, hi, sweetie, how are you? Oh, just a minute. I'll be right back. Yes. What do you want? You change,
Yeah. Yeah.
changing all the time according to what is needed and what you want. Very
Okay.
specific.
Okay.
But she used to make fun of me. She used to like to kid me because I was always trying to impress her.
Mhm.
Whatever I could do to make her laugh. I
Right.
would definitely make her laugh to impress her. We went out to dinner once, and I said to her, let me order the wine, Uta,
Mhm.
because I'm from California and I know the California Reds very well. And she said, all right, fine, if you want to. And I ordered a bottle of wine, and I was very eager, and she took her first sip and she said, it's like velvet. It's fabulous. I was thrilled.
Right.
So I said, the waiter will have another bottle. He brought another bottle.
Uh-huh.
And Uta left with a friend of hers, and the check came, and it was for $500 because I had ordered 2 bottles, $250 each. I've not seen said 250, but I thought that was another bottle. I put my finger on the wrong wine. Anyway,
Yeah.
Uta heard that
I
story. She tells it, used to tell it a lot. She loved that story.
was gonna say she ate it up.
She loved that story. Because I just loved her so much, and I wanted to impress her, and I wanted her to love me, and I wanted to be her favorite. And well, there were a lot of people like that. When she had her stroke, a group
Mhm.
of us would go and visit her, and we would read. She wanted to read. She wanted to keep on
Right.
reading. We'd
Yeah.
go around the dining room table and read. And we read the Seagull one day.
Mhm.
When it came to the part of Nina, she knew the words by heart. Now she was 84 years old. She did the Seagull when she was 19 with the
That's
lungs,
amazing. That's amazing.
and she remembered the lines. And
That's amazing.
sometimes she thought she was in Montauk. I remember
Yeah.
that. She thought she
Yeah.
was in Montauk. I told you that I was in Montauk with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
yeah. Yep.
we were among the royalty that were invited to go to Montauk with her. Herbert Berghoff, her husband, used to call us Uta's warriors. Here comes Uta's warriors.
And you got to go
Uh,
to Montauk, and it was I mean, anybody who's been to, I can't say Montauk now because it's so different, but anybody who was at my grandmother's house, it was the last house on the road, and the view. And then
yes,
every Sunday you would have orange pancakes, and then
yes,
you would have a cocktail, and then you would have fettuccine Alfredo, homemade. And
yes,
I remember as a kid, she had the pasta maker, and she would put the dough through, and it would come out,
yes,
and it was like magic. It was like,
yes.
how did that happen? And
And she
she
would
just,
write. She'd write out the menu on a
yeah,
the back of an envelope. She would have a
yeah,
menu every night all written out.
yeah. And she wasn't fancy about it.
No, no, no.
It was just the food was good.
She loved doing it.
Yeah. She
She
loved
was
doing it.
passionate.
Yeah,
She was
yeah,
passionate.
yeah,
And she had a real passion about what she did: cooking, teaching,
yeah,
acting.
yeah,
I wish she had done more acting. I think she wished it too.
yeah. She did. She did.
Uh, but I mean, she was one of the blacklisted people,
Yeah.
and didn't get work. Uh,
What Being her friend for so long, what is a personal story that you would like to share besides the time of
well,
the
I'll tell
stroke?
you. I'll tell you when I was visiting her. One of the last times, uh, she was sipping water with a glass straw, and I was so eager to give her a smile or to
Hmm. Hmm.
whatever. I said, "Oh, Uta, a glass straw. I hope I have that someday." And she looked at me with those blue eyes and said, "Aim higher." That was Uta.
That was, yeah, I was just going to say that was her on every level,
Yeah,
on every level.
aim higher.
Yeah. It
I
was,
have a painting of her. I forget who her friend, the painter,
Jane Aiken.
Jane Aiken. I have
Mhm.
Jane Aiken's painting of Uta gardening.
Oh,
I have it in my apartment,
nice.
and
Nice.
I have a nightgown of hers,
Okay.
and so
Special
my
moments.
speaking about objects, yeah,
Special
my personal
moments.
object, this very special woman. I was very
Yeah.
lucky to know her.
I feel like we all were.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
was
a
she was
force.
it's often what I say. She was a force, and she was fire, and to me she was just Omi, you know. But
Oh,
but she
oh,
was, and you got to meet her and work with her and become her friend, and that drove it that much closer. And now you
yeah,
get to teach her method at the new school.
yeah, yeah,
And I think for me, I when I hear that people are teaching her method, I love that,
yeah,
especially people who knew her.
yeah,
It's just such a gift because you also had the relationship aside from teaching that you
yeah.
can continue to share with your students.
Yes, exactly.
So that for me, it's a gift, um, because not everybody had that opportunity.
I'll probably think of 20 more stories after I say goodbye to you, but
Well, you let me know. You let me know, and you're welcome back anytime.
I just
So,
wanted to talk about Uta and David Hyde Pierce.
yes.
Uta did a play in LA called Six Dance Lessons in 6 weeks, which was not a very good play, but what was fabulous about it was to watch David Hyde Pierce and Uta work together. They fell in love. At first they didn't. He was a little miffed at her because she seemed to be very bossy on stage, but he got over
Hmm.
that. And they fell in love. They really did.
Yeah.
And when Ucha had her stroke, David would send her a bouquet of flowers every week. Every week, I think every Wednesday,
Hmm.
she got a big bouquet of flowers from him.
Yeah. He
So
was.
they were very close, and they were fabulous together.
He's a gift, and he was a
Yes,
gift
yes,
for
he
her.
was. He was
And
a gift.
you got to see them perform.
Yes. Oh boy, that was wonderful.
So
Wonderful. Yeah, I was very lucky. I got to see her in action a lot,
yeah, that's
not only as a teacher but as an actor.
you you have. I can't just say like you just have one thing. It's like you had the friendship. She was your teacher. She was your mentor. She was your friend. She was your chef. She was your bartender. She was,
Oh yeah,
she was your hostess.
yeah,
You got the whole
exactly.
kit. You got the whole kit and caboodle of
I
Uta
did.
Hagen.
I did. I did. This is
And
wonderful
when
what you're doing.
it's here for people to tell stories about being with my
Great.
grandmother and knowing her and sharing. But if
Good.
anybody wants to continue to study and learn my grandmother's method in New York, check out Karen Ludwig at the New School.
Great. Thank you.
If you like this podcast, please feel free to share this with your friends.
Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more stories on the professional and personal life of Uta Hagen and her repertoire.